Hi everyone, how are you all? So myself Nagappa, you are watching Appa Chemistry classes. Now in our today's class we are going to discuss the boron family. In the last class we had seen the carbon family and before that we had seen the alkali metals. So we had discussed their concept as well as the numerical questions. I hope so those videos are helpful to your subject, whatever the first year inorganic chemistry. So now this boron family, in this boron family also complete concept I will cover along with that numerical questions. Most important numerical questions are there. Those most important numerical questions also I am going to cover. Yeah, let's get into the video of boron family here. The boron family is also called 13th group or also called third A group elements. Now here 13th group elements are third A group element. Now here what are the elements which are present in boron family? Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. These are the elements. Now this boron has the anomalous property when compared to the other element because of presence of small size and also non-availability of vacant d orbital and high polarizing power, and also which has only 2 penultimate shell electron, but whereas remaining all are having 8, 18, 18, 32 like that they are having. But this boron has the only 2 penultimate shell electrons. Now you see here the general electronic configuration of this boron family will be ns2np1. If we had seen the general properties, if we are going to see the direct one, this aluminium is the more abundant element among all those. Now we will see the general properties, how they will varies in groups and periods. We will see atomic radius in groups, what happens in this third group. So whenever we are going from top to bottom, atomic radius increases generally. So from boron to aluminium it will be increases. After that from aluminium to gallium it will be slight decrease is there. It is due to the aluminium is getting the abnormal increase due to presence of d orbital. Okay na. So after that indium and after that thallium, that is slight variation in case of aluminium and gallium itself. Now ionization energy, generally atomic radius is inversely proportional to ionization energy, which is a smaller size boron. So that will have the high ionization energy. And here thallium, gallium will have the low ionization energy. Generally, the ionization energy decreases from boron to aluminium. Then after it will be increases. Okay, now boron to aluminium it will be decreases. Then after it will be increases from up to thallium it will be. It is thallium and gallium, why they are having high ionization energy? Due to poor shielding of d orbital, their removal of electron will be very difficult. Okay na? So boron, thallium, gallium and aluminium and indium. Here B plus 3, that is boron cannot show the positive oxidation state. Boron can show only minus oxidation state only. Minus 3 oxidation state is not able to exist because of the sum of these first 3 ionization energy will be very high. So for that reason it will not possible. Next density, generally density what happens top to bottom increases. The density of aluminium and gallium will be slight variation, but almost it will be top to bottom increases. Melting point mainly depends on the bond to metal, element to element bond strength. That is boron to gallium it will be decreases. After from gallium to thallium it will be increases. It is very important melting point order. So boron to gallium it will be decreases. After that thallium till thallium it will be increases. Boron has the high melting point due to giant covalent structure, polymeric structure in both liquid and solid state. Now you see here boron has the more melting point. Then after aluminium, then after thallium, indium and gallium. Gallium is it is called Eka aluminium. It is Eka aluminium. So this Eka aluminium, scientist said that Eka aluminium when I am holding in my hand it will start melting, he said. That is whenever that melting point of that gallium will be less than our body temperature. Our body temperature, normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. It will start melting at 34 degrees Celsius only. So for that reason gallium has the least melting point among all third A group element. Boiling point also same thing, boron, aluminium, gallium and indium, thallium top to bottom decreases regularly. Now electronegativity. So boron is the most electronegative element. Boron to aluminium it will be decreases. After that it will increases. That is boron After that, thallium, indium, gallium, and aluminium. Aluminium is least electronegative element, least electronegative and more electropositive element it is. Now electropositivity will be maximum for the aluminium, and here these all will have the what metallic character. Gallium, indium, thallium will have the what. Boron is the only non-metal, remaining all will be metals. Next, aluminium has the least SRP value, standard reduction potential value, so act as what a strong reducing agent, and also here it is a good metal also. Because of low SRP value, it can readily loses the electron. You can see this is the reducing nature order, which is having high reducing nature. Generally boron should be more, but aluminium is having the what more reducing character. After that boron, after that gallium, indium, thallium. Now boron exists in many allotropic forms. In all the allotropic, the basic building material will be what? B12 icosahedral units are common basic units which are present in the boron allotropic form. B12, it will be exist in the form of B12, which consists of what? 20 phases and 12 corners it will be. Just you remember, in B12 20 phases and 12 corners will be there. Compounds of boron are always covalent. Compounds of boron will be always covalent, but whereas aluminium, if you are considering, and aluminium AlCl3, GaCl3, gallium trichloride are covalent in nature. But whereas if you take the aluminium AlF3 and Al2O3, except these two compounds, remaining all aluminium compounds are covalent in nature. These two are the ionic nature. These two are the ionic in nature. Next, if you had seen the oxidation state here, the oxidation state of carbon family, the +3 oxidation state from top to bottom decreases. Stability of +3 oxidation state decreases. Which is the most stable +3 oxidation state here? Aluminium. So least stable will be thallium +3. So +1 top to bottom increases it will be. That is, bottom element will have the what? Lower oxidation state is more stable. That is, thallium +1 is more stable than the thallium +3. It is thallus chloride, it is thallic chloride. Thallus chloride is more stable than the thallic chloride due to inert pair effect. It cannot participate the NS electron in this chemical bond formation, because whenever you are going from top to bottom, due to poor shielding of d orbital. And also you can take boron and aluminium do not show the +1 oxidation state. They can show, aluminium show +3, but boron cannot show plus. It will show the minus also. It will show only minus. Now you can see thallium trihydroxide is less basic than thallium hydroxide. Due to thallium +3 is less polarized, it is having the what? Polarizing power, more polarizing power, more than thallium +1. So here thallium trichloride is a good oxidant, because by gaining 2 electron it converted to more stable thallium +1. It is an unstable one. Unstable molecule changes to stable molecule. Now you can see here chemical properties of boron here. The boron, whenever it react with atmospheric air, it can form the boric anhydride and boron nitride also. The aluminium can also react with air. It can form the aluminium oxide and aluminium nitride also. The boric anhydride will have the what? Acidic nature. B2O3 is having acidic nature, but Al2O3 is amphoteric oxide. Now you can see here BF3 is a weak Lewis acid. Why it is weak Lewis acid? Because of its back donation, back dative bonding present. So for that reason BF3 is a weak Lewis acid. Now the order of Lewis acid strength will be BBr3 is stronger Lewis acid, BCl3, BF3 is least one. So BX3, that is boron trihalide, whenever it is on hydrolysis, will get the what? Boric acid. Is that clear? Now aluminium chloride is represented as Al2Cl6. Generally aluminium trichloride is exist in dimeric form. It is a dimeric form of aluminium chloride. Up to 400 degrees Celsius it will exist in dimeric. Above 800 degrees Celsius it will exist as monomeric form. In dimeric form, the aluminium will have this dimeric form of aluminium chloride will have this structure. Here the two chlorine atoms, these two chlorine atoms are called bridged chlorine atom. So these are called, here only the 2 electrons which are shared between the 3 atoms. So these are called 3-centered 2 electron bonds. It is 3-centered two electron bonds. Here the bond angle will be 118 degrees. Here the bond angle is inner bond angle will be 101 degrees. Now here when we are comparing the bond length, here bridged chlorine to aluminum bond length will be 221 picometer. The terminal chlorines, these are called terminal chlorines. Terminal chlorine bond length will be 206. Here total of we have the what, how many covalent bonds are there? Total 6 covalent bonds are there. 1, 2, each here 6 covalent bonds are there and 2 dative bonds are there. Total 8 bonds are there here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No? In that 2 will be dative bonds and 6 will be covalent bonds. Is that clear? Now next one. Here aluminum trichloride, whenever it react with water, that is aluminum in aqueous condition will exist in case of what? Hexahydrated water molecule. Here aluminum coordination number is 6. Now in this case aluminum participate in sp3d2, but whereas boron can form the tetrahydroxy tetranuclear complex. Now you can see reactivity towards acids and alkalis. The boron react with concentrated sulfuric acid only. It does not react with dilute HCl or dilute HNO3. It won't react. It react concentrated HNO3 H2SO4, form the boric acid and sulfur dioxide. Now aluminum react with sulfuric acid, forms the aluminum sulfate plus sulfur dioxide, water. Boron can react with HNO3 and forms the nitrogen dioxide and boric acid. Aluminum cannot react with the water, nitric acid. This is very important. Aluminum cannot react with nitric acid. Aluminum cannot react with nitric acid due to whenever before going to that aluminum react with atmospheric oxygen and forms the water oxide layer on its metal surface. So it cannot react with nitric acid. Now aluminum when react with aqueous sodium hydroxide, that is alkali, then sodium meta-aluminate it will form. And also the boron is also on reaction with sodium hydroxide, sodium metaborate it will form, sodium meta-aluminate it will form. Okay na? So sodium tetrahydroxo aluminate 3 complex will be formed here. Okay na? So now you can see here trihalides. Now here in this case the boron when react with carbon, boron carbide, the boron atom can react with magnesium and it will form the what? Metal borates also. Aluminum can react with carbon and forms the aluminum carbide. You can see the trihalides of these group elements being covalent in nature are hydrolyzed in water and forms the water MOH taken 4 by the lower member, that is boron atom. Higher members will form the water hexahydroxy nuclear. It is tetrahydroxy nuclear it will be. So tetrahydroxy nuclear will be what? sp3. Octahydroxy, that is hexahydroxy one will be, it is an sp3d2 hybridization. In borane adductive, whenever it is forming the dative bond with the, it is Lewis base and it is Lewis acid. Whenever it accepts the electron from this Lewis base, then what happens? It can form the water dative bond. There here boron participate in sp3 hybridization. The maximum covalency of boron will be what? 4. It cannot extend its covalency just like aluminum how it is extending up to 6. It cannot extend more than 4 because of non-availability of d orbital. And also boron shows anomalous behavior due to small size, high electronegativity and non-availability of d orbital. Only 2 electrons are present in the penultimate shell. Due to all these reasons, boron will have the what? Anomalous properties. Compounds of boron atom you see here, borax, we can see the borax is also called Tincal or crude borax also, Na2B4O7 10H2O. It can also be written as B4O5 OH taken 4 8H2O. Kernite, these all will be compounds of boron here. Razorite, kernite or razorite, Na2B4O7 and 4H2O, 10H2O borax or Tincal or curd borax. But whereas if it is 4 moles, then it is called razorite or kernite. Colemanite is what? Ca2B6O11.5H2O is called colemanite. Octahedral borax is Na2B4O7 and 5H2O. Boric acid is H3BO3 or BOH taken thrice it will be. Now you can see here the borax, whatever the tetranuclear, the borax, Tincal or borax will have the what? Tetranuclear units of borax. In this case, Here how many 6-membered rings are there here? Now you see this is what one 6-membered ring. How many atoms are involved? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One 6-membered ring, another 6-membered ring. So two 6-membered rings are present in tetranuclear unit of borax. And also here two types of boron atoms are there. This boron atom participate in sp2 hybridization. Now this boron atom has the how many sigma bonds here? 4. So it participate in sp3 hybridization. Okay now borax has the basic nature because whenever it is on hydrolysis it participate in what? Anionic hydrolysis. The whatever the tetraborate ion H2B4O7 which is formed B4O7 minus 2, that will undergo hydrolysis and will give the what? OH minus ion. So for that reason the borax will have the what? Basic nature which participate in anionic hydrolysis. Next, borax bead test. You see, by using this borax bead test to identify the colored basic radicals in qualitative analysis, we can use the what? Colored basic radicals can be identified. That is, this borax bead test is used for the identification of transition metals like what? Cobalt, copper, iron, cobalt, nickel, chromium, manganese. These can be identified. Here whenever the borax is heated, we will get the sodium tetraborate, which is upon heating sodium metaborate, and boric anhydride will get. That boric anhydride when react with metal oxide will get the different colored metal beads will get based on the nature of metal oxide. Cobalt oxide will give the blue bead, iron oxide will give the green. So cobalt metaborate will give the blue colored bead, copper metaborate will give the blue colored bead, nickel will give the brown colored bead. So chromium metaborate will give the what? Green colored. Manganese will give you pink color. Okay na? Now next one is boric acid. How you will get this boric acid? Whenever the boric anhydride which is on hydrolysis. Here it depends on the different types of boric acids are there. It depends different boric acid depends on the percentage of boric anhydride and water. Okay na? So you see in orthoboric acid, here boric anhydride and 3 moles of water will get the what? Orthoboric acid. The boric acid is the trivial name of orthoboric acid. Metaboric acid is HbO2. It consists of only water molecule with boric anhydride. Tetraboric acid is what? 2 metal boric anhydride and with 1 water molecule H2B4O7. Pyroboric acid is H6B4O9, 2 B2O3 and 3 H2O molecules it will be. You can see here sodium metaborate, it is borax. Whenever it react with HCl, you will get the NaCl and boric acid we are going to get. This boric acid is what? Weak monobasic acid. It loses water molecule on heating. Whenever it is heated, so it loses the water molecule. But whenever it is on hydrolyzed, it will not accept the proton. So it is not accepting the proton, but it can accept the what? OH minus ion. That is OH minus ion containing electron it is accepting. So it is electron pair acceptor. So then it is called what? Lewis acid, accepting electron from hydroxide ion. It does not act as what? Proton donor. So here hydronium ions are released. So it has the what? Acidic nature. How many hydronium ions are released? Only one. So for that reason it is called weak monobasic acid it will be. Now each boric acid involves the what? 6 hydrogen bonding. Here this is the boric acid. Okay now. So this is boric acid. Now you see here the boric acid containing 3 hydrogens which are participating in 3 hydrogen bondings. And also oxygen atom also is involving in the hydrogen bonding. Total 6 hydrogen bonds are involved. It is a weak antiseptic for ice and used in enamels and glass industries also. You can see the diborane, next compound of boron. It is very important. In diborane, the boron atom participate in sp3 hybridization. If you had seen in first excited state configuration, it becomes 2s1, 2p2 it will be. So 2s has the only 1 electron, 2p has the 2 electrons. Now by intermixing these 4 atomic orbital, we will get the 4 hybrid orbital. Each boron participate in sp3 hybridization here. sp3 hybridization. Now here it has the what? 2 types of hydrogen overlappings will be there. The sp3 hybrid orbital of boron is overlapped with s orbital of hydrogen. We will get such type of how many bonds? 4 sp3s bonds we are going to get. And here one vacant orbital of boron atom and one electron containing hybrid orbital of boron atom is overlapped with this 1s electron of hydrogen, that is sp3s p3 overlapping. So that is two electrons which are overlapped between these three atoms. So it is called what? These bonds are called three-centered. In between the three atoms, two electrons are sharing. So three-centered two electron bonds, those are also called banana bonds or tau bonds. These are also called banana bonds or tau bonds it will be. Now here how many these are the terminal hydrogen, these called terminal hydrogens. So these hydrogens are called bridged hydrogens. The bridged hydrogens are how many here? 2. Terminal hydrogens are 4. Now here the bridged hydrogen to boron bond distance will be 1.34 angstroms or 134 picometer, or else 1.19 angstroms or 119 picometers it will be. The bond angles are important. Here 121 in between the terminal hydrogen and boron, in between bridged hydrogen and boron 97 degrees it will be. Now here in this case it is very important to know that in diborane how many empty hybrid orbitals are there? Here one empty hybrid orbital, here one empty hybrid orbital, total 2 empty hybrid orbital. The borane will act as what? Better fuel. When compared to hydrocarbon, this diborane will act as what? Better fuel, because so here whenever it is diborane is combust, we will get the what? More quantity of heat energy. So for that reason this diborane is called what? Better fuel. It is used in rocket fuels also. You can see the preparation method, different preparation method. When boron trifluoride react with ionic hydrides or saline hydrides, these are called lithium hydride or sodium hydride, upon heating 450 Kelvin, will get B2H6. Now sodium borohydride, whenever it is oxidized by using iodine, we are going to get sodium iodide and diborane and hydrogen gas. Now you can take the lithium aluminum hydride or lithium borohydride, whenever it react with boron trifluoride, we'll get the what? Diborane. Is that clear? Now you can see here boron trichloride, whenever it is unhydrogenated in presence of electric discharge at low pressure, we are going to get the diborane. You can see here properties of diborane. B2H6, whenever it react with water, it forms the what? Boric acid and hydrogen. The diborane react with potassium hydroxide and forms the potassium metaborate. Now diborane on reaction with carbon monoxide, the carbon monoxide, carbon containing lone pair of electron is donated to this diborane. The borane molecule is the vacant orbital is there, so it can accept the pair of electron from this carbon monoxide. So it forms the dative bond between carbon monoxide to borane. It is called borane carbonyl adduct. Now B2H6, whenever it react with a trimethylamine, tertiary amine, then what happens? It forms the what? Dative bond between BH3 and trimethylamine. Diborane, when react with ammonia at 120 degrees Celsius, then what happens? It forms the diammoniated of diborane it will form, which is upon heating till 200 degrees Celsius, we will get B3N3H6. What is B3N3H6 is called? It is called boragine or borazole. It is also called inorganic benzene because its structure is resemble with the benzene ring. So for that reason this B3N3H6 is called inorganic benzene. Now we can see the borazole structure here. It is resemble just like a like a benzene. Benzene, how in we have 3 pi bonds, here also 3 dative bonds are there in alternative position in non-polar molecule. In polar molecule, we have the 3 pi bonds which are in continuous resonance. It is a polar molecule. Just like in benzene, each carbon, how it will be sp2 hybridization. Here, each atom which is involved in the ring will participate in sp2 hybridization. Whenever this borazole, upon heating at strong heating, then we'll get the boron nitride. This boron nitride is having the what? Hard nature, just like a diamond. Its hardness is slightly less than the diamond hardness, but it is hard one. Now you can see the what? Aluminium and its compound. Aluminium is most abundant metal in earth crust. It is the third most abundant element in the total elements. It is the first most abundant metallic element it will be. Metallic element is first most. In total, third abundant element is total in all periodic table element. If you are taking, aluminium is the third most abundant element in earth crust. You can see here what are the aluminium ores. It will be bauxite and dispore, Al2O3H2O, corundum, Al2O3 is called what? Corundum. Cryolite Na3Al(F6) is called cryolite. Feldspar we got in zeolite and silicate. Potassium aluminium Si3O8. It is also written as K2O Al2O3 6 moles of SiO2. Among compounds of aluminium, only AlF3 and Al2O3 are ionic. Just now I had explained you. Aluminium is remaining, except these remaining all aluminium compounds are covalent. Aluminium is extracted from bauxite by electrolytic process by Hall-Hérold's process. Bauxite is associated with impurity. What type of impurities? It has the hematite, Fe2O3, silica and titanium oxide are the impurities which are present. You can see last but not least alums. What are the alums here? The alums are having the what general formula like M2SO4 and here M2S4 taken twice here. These M here M are different here. It is M dash. So 24H2. It is a general formula of alums here. This M will be what it is in +1 oxidation state. This M dash is what? +3 oxidation state. Now you can see here sodium, all alkali metal except lithium, and also you can see arsenic +1, thallium +1 and ammonium ion also can form the what? Alums. But whereas here aluminium +3, chromium +3, Fe +3, Mn +3, CO +3, these all can form the alums. Different alums these are. Aluminium becomes passive and concentrated HNO3 and chromic acid and also perchloric acid. These won't react with aluminium because of passivity nature. On aluminium some oxide layer will be formation takes place. So for that reason it won't react. You can see here boron. Uses of this alkali boron family. Boron fibers are used in making bulletproof vest and light composite material for aircraft. Metal borides are used in nuclear industries to control the speed of the neutrons. In the manufacturing of heat resistant glasses like Pyrex or glass wool and fiber glasses can be manufactured. Aqueous solution of orthoboric acid is generally used as mild antiseptic for eyes. These all will be uses. This is complete concept of boron family. Now we will see the numerical questions. Now first question in numericals, what they are asking? Be3, Al2, Si6, On. Here what is the N value they are asking? Generally in a molecule the sum of the charges should be equal to 0. Now here beryllium, each beryllium is +2, 3 into +2, 3 into +2, +2 into aluminium +3, plus silicon is +4, plus N into oxygen is -2, that is just you take it as 2, okay now. So is equal to 0. Now here total if you take and N into 2 here is equal to how much it will be? 3 2s are 6, 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 6 12, 12 plus here 6 24, 24 plus 12 36, 36 by 2 is nothing but 18. Here what is the N value here? N is equal to 18. Is that clear? Now next question you can see the number of hexagonal rings present in borax. Just now we had seen in borax Na2B4O7.10H2O. It can be written as Na2B4O5OH taken 4.8H2O. Here you can see here this borons. How many borons are there? The 4 borons which are shared with the what? 5 oxygen atom between these 4 boron atom. Now you see here each boron is bonded with 1,1-OH group. It is 1,1-OH group. Now this is the molecule here Na2, here 8 moles of water molecule. In this case how many hexagonal rings? This is one hexagonal ring, this is another hexagonal ring. So 2 hexagonal rings are present. The number of hydrogen bonds that can formed by each boric acid molecule is, this is boric acid, here this is boric acid, here now this is boric acid. This hydrogen involves in hydrogen bonding, this hydrogen involves in the hydrogen bonding with other boric acid, and also 3 hydrogens are participating in 3 hydrogen bonding, and also oxygen which is present, this is also participate in hydrogen bonding. So such type of hydrogen bonds are how many? It will be total of 6 hydrogen bonds are possible in boric acid. Now number of sigma bonds present in inorganic benzene, which is called inorganic benzene here B3N3H6. Borazole is called inorganic benzene. You can draw the structure here. alternative position boron and nitrogen you can take. Boron, nitrogen, boron, here nitrogen. Okay, now alternative position. Now each boron and nitrogen give the 1 hydrogen because 6 hydrogens it will be. Okay, so this nitrogen containing lone pair can be donated to here. So then what happens, how many sigma bonds are there here in the ring? 6, and here outside each hydrogen atom 6. Total 12 sigma bonds are there. How many pi bonds are there? 3 pi bonds are there. Is that clear? Now next one. In solid corundum, the number of oxygen atom coordinated to aluminum ion is. Here in corundum we have aluminate ion is there. This aluminate ion, here the 4 hydroxy groups and 2 water molecules which are surrounded with this aluminum atom along with this -1 here. Okay, now so the aluminum gets the water plus 3 oxidation state. Now here what is the coordination number of here aluminum? This aluminum is bonded with 4 OH molecules. 4 OH molecules directly bonded to oxygen and 2 dative bonds with 2 water molecule. 2 dative bond with the 2 water molecule. That is its coordination number will be what? How much it is? 6. Is that clear? Now trialkyl aluminum molecule exists as dimer which contains the 3-centered 2 electron bonds. The coordination number of bridged carbon atom is trialkyl aluminum. That is trialkyl aluminum it is. Now say for example or you take it as methyl group. Trimethyl aluminum they are asking. In dimeric form they are saying. In dimeric form it will be Al2CH3 taken 6 times it will be. Is it or not? That is here 1 aluminum, here 1 aluminum. So it has the 3 C, here 1 CH3, CH3, here 1 CH3, here 1 CH3. Now here 1 carbon with 3 hydrogens. Here these are carbons are what? Bridged carbons. Bridged alkyl. The bridged carbon atom it is. The bridged carbon atom, it's what they are saying, coordination number of bridged carbon atom. Coordination number is nothing but nearest neighboring atoms. Here 2 aluminum atoms and 3 hydrogen atoms. So total neighboring atoms will be how much it is? 5. So this is the coordination number of carbon atom in dimeric form of trialkyl aluminum. Is that clear? Now the number of hybrid orbitals involved in the formation of B2H6, B3N3H6, BCl3 and BH boric acid are respectively P, Q, R and S. Then sum of P plus Q plus R plus S is equal to how much? What are these P, Q, R? Here hybrid orbital. This is diborane. In diborane each boron atom participate in sp3 hybridization. So 1 boron sp3. sp3 means 4 hybrid orbitals. So 4 into how many boron atoms? So 2 it will be. So 4 hybrid orbitals into 2 will be what it is? P. Now plus. Now here B3N3H6 here. Each boron and nitrogen atom it is borazole. Each atom participate in what? sp2 hybridization. sp2 means sp3 means 4 hybrid orbital. sp2 means 3 hybrid orbital. 3 hybrid orbital. How many atoms it will be? 3 boron atom, 3 nitrogen atom, 6 it will be. So that is what here it is the Q. Now plus in BCl3 boron is participating in sp2 hybridization. sp2 means how many hybrid orbital? It will be 3 hybrid orbitals. Now it is what? R here plus H3BO3 boric acid. The boric acid is also participate in sp2 hybridization. So it also participate in sp2 3 hybrid orbital. It is what? S. Now total will be 2 into 4 8, 6 into 3 18 plus 3 plus 3. So total how much it will be? 8 plus 18 that is 26, 26 plus 3. 26 plus 3 29, 29 plus 3 32 it will be. The number of moles of sulfate ions present in the general formula of 4 mole of alum. Alum general formula is what? Just now we had seen M2SO4 dot M dash M2SO4 taken twice dot 24H2O. This is the general formula of alum. in 1 mole of alum if you are taking, this is 1 mole just. In 1 mole, how many sulfate ions are there here? 3, here 1. In 1 mole, there are 4 sulfate ions are there. 4 SO4 minus 2 ions. So, but how many they are saying? 4 moles of aluminium, 4 moles of alum. 4 moles of alum consist of how many sulfate ion? That is 4 into 4, that is 16 it will be. Is that clear? Now, number of tetrahedral boron atoms present in peroxoborate ion is. Now, peroxoborate ion is what here? H4, B2, O8 minus 2 it will be. So, generally Na2, H4, B2, Na2, H4, B2, O8 is called sodium peroxoborate it will be. Now here it is minus 2. You can take here boron, this boron. So how many peroxy linkages are there? 1 peroxy bond here. This is another peroxy bond. Here 2 OH groups here. On this boron also 2 OH groups here. Now this has the what? Negative charge. This has the negative charge. It is what? Tetrahedral one. They are asking tetrahedral boron atom which participate in sp3. So it is tetrahedral. How many boron atoms are there? Such type of tetrahedral boron atom. This is one. This is another one. sp3 tetrahedral one. So 2 tetrahedral boron atoms are present in the peroxoborate. Now how many moles of OH minus ions produced by dissolving 1 mole of boric acid in water? This is boric acid. Whenever it is dissolved in water, so it is weak monobasic acid. It is a Lewis acid. It accepts the water from this water molecule. From this water molecule, it accepts the OH minus ion. It accepts the electron from this hydroxide ion. Then it forms the what? BOH taken 4 minus 1 plus hydronium ion will be formed. Now, is there any hydroxide ion is formed here? There is no hydroxide ion, that is 0. So, 0 number of hydroxide ions are formed here. Now, how much nitrogen is evolved when 1 gram of ammonium chloride is heated with borax strongly? What is borax here? Na2B4O7. Whenever it is strongly heated, then what happens? Generally, we will get the what? NaCl, 2 moles of NaCl, and we will get the what here? Boron nitride. So 2 moles of boron nitride plus boric anhydride B2O3. So plus we will get the water. Here water molecule. We will get the water 2H2O. Is that clear? Is there any nitrogen formed here? Is there any nitrogen here? No nitrogen at all. That is how much amount of it will be? 0. 0 amount of nitrogen is formed. Now next one. The number of bridged bonds. The maximum number of planar atoms and the number of electrons involved in the formation of bridged bonds in diborane are XYZ respectively. This is diborane structure. Just I am writing once again. So this is a diborane structure. Here these bridged hydrogens here. These are bridged hydrogens. These are terminal hydrogens. Now you see in this case the number of bridged bonds. How many bridged bonds? It will be 2. That bridged bonds they said as what? X. Now how many bridged bonds? It will be 2 bridged bonds are there. The maximum number of planar atom. These bridged bonds will be, one will be above the plane, another one is below the plane. So these are out of the plane. These 2 boron atom and 4 terminal hydrogens which are present in the plane. That is 4 tetrahedral terminal hydrogens, so 2 boron, that is 6 it will be. X, Y will be the maximum number of planar atom will be 6. And also, what they are saying, and still what they are saying, and the number of electrons involved in the formation of bridged bond. Here this bridged bond formation will be what it is, a 3-centered and 2 electrons. So for 1 bond formation, bridged bond, 2 electron. Here one more bridged bond is there. So 2 electron. Total will be 4 electrons. Z is equal to how much? 4. Now what they are asking, then the product of X, Y, Z they are asking. That is 2 into 6 into, here X into Y into Z. That is nothing but 2 into 6 into 4. 2 6 are 12, 12 4 are 48 it will be. 48 is the answer. Next one, how many of the following shows the borax bead test? So borax bead test is what? Whenever this Na2B4O7 borax 10H2O which is heated, so then first we will get the glass borax, that is Na2B4O7 by loss of water molecule till 120 degrees Celsius. Upon 200 degrees Celsius if we are heating, we will get the boric anhydride B2O3 plus sodium metaborate will get NaBO2. 2 moles of NaBO2 plus boric anhydride will get. The boric anhydride, what it will do? It react with metal oxide, metal borates, that is the transition metal oxides it will be. Generally transition, M is what it is? Transition metal. So what are the transition metal here? Copper, iron, chromium, cobalt, manganese and nickel. So these are the transition, but whereas boron, beryllium, magnesium, these cannot give the what? Borax bead test, only transition metal. How many are there? 6. Now the total number of here, whenever it react with this one, so we'll get the what? Metal metaborate we are going to get PO2 taken twice. Next, the total number of vacant orbitals involved in the bond formation of diborane. So this is the diborane structure. Here each boron atom participating in what? sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization, so one will be one total out of 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals have one electron. Have 1 electron in each. But whereas one sp3 hybrid orbital is empty. It is an empty or vacant orbital it will be. So here one empty, here one empty. So total how many vacant hybrid orbitals are involved in diborane? 2. Is that clear? This is about the complete boron family or 13th group or 3rd A group element. I hope so. You got the complete information about boron family. You will never miss even a single question by doing all these concepts thoroughly and make a note of it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep watching Appa Chemistry classes. For more videos, you can see in the description box. Thank you.